What's good, y'all? Low Budget Lizard here. If you've been keeping up with my videos recently, you probably know I like running. And as such, I have joined the cross-country team and I've run a couple races. But this is the first cross-country race that actually means something. May I introduce to you the County Championships. A very important race for me. And I have my eyes set on one goal. Sub 17. A very lofty goal, because I have never run faster than 17:30 yet. But this is a particularly fast course, still counts, but it is still a relatively fast course, and I had my eyes set on it, and I was not going to accept anything else. So, without further ado, let's get into the race analysis for my most important race so far. Yes, unfortunately, this was the only footage I was able to get from the start. What are you gonna do? Whatever. It's alright. The only relevant information you need to know is that, just like usual, everybody went out at like 4:30 pace, and there's absolutely no way that everyone was just gonna keep that pace. So for the first half mile, everyone was just blazing out of the start, and inevitably they started crashing only about a half mile in. But this is actually during the second loop, and the first loop is around 1.3 miles, and then you run right around here again. And this part is actually at around the 1.5 mile mark. And there's me. And in my opinion, between 1.5 miles and 2 miles is probably the roughest part, because you're not really close to the end, but you're also really far into the race, so it's kind of hard to keep your motivation to keep going. You're also very fatigued, but that's no excuse. I made sure to keep pushing the pace, and I did that successfully, and it helped me in the long run. Ha! There's a that was a pun, you see. Yeah, long run. Yeah. You get it? Anyways, this is the third time around, and I'm finally on the closing part of this race. This whole part is actually all a downhill that leads to the track, as you see here. And this is where I enter my final kick, and this guy was ahead of me the entire race, but I was able to hawk him down about 150 meters from the finish line. This race ends on a curve, and so all I had to do was just round the bend, and then I was done. And it wasn't until around here that I was able to see the clock, and I actually was going at sub 17. And if you saw the short that I posted, you will see. Wait, you gotta see me do the awkward like thing with the watch. I don't know. I just looked a little fruity in that picture. But anyways, as you can see from the short that I posted earlier, I ran a 16:48, well past what I wanted to do. I was very surprised, very pleased, very happy with the performance. And if you don't know, that is about 5:25 per mile, or around 11 miles per hour, which is by far the fastest I've done for anything at this distance. In fact, that pace of 10:50 in 2 miles actually beat my 2-mile PR from last year, which was 10:53, which means I could probably run a much faster 2-mile right now, probably like around the 10:30 something range, because I also ran a 10:42 in my regular trainers at a time trial. So this is looking very promising for me. Unfortunately, I do have some bad news. Because of scheduling with other commitments, if you don't already know, I'm also in my high school's marching band, which is very time consuming. I am unable to run at a couple of the cross-country meets, including this one, which is called Starlight. And it is even faster than the course that I just ran. So, unfortunately, all of my buddies will be able to run a stupid fast time, and I will not be given that opportunity, which I'm really bummed out about, but, you know, life happens. And so instead, I'm actually going to sign up for a community 5K on the following Saturday, which is October 11th, I believe. So we'll see how I do there, and I'm actually planning on wearing my GoPro if I can find the head strap for it, or the chest strap, or borrow from somebody else's. But yes, I will. You'll actually be able to see a first-person POV of the entire race, which I plan to do a much longer analysis on. So you guys aren't just stuck with third-person footage that it was from like 2 minutes of clips. But anyways, that's the future plans of Low Budget Lizard, and I hope to see all of you next time.